On behalf of the JLL Real Estate Management Team, we would like to welcome you to the Bridgewater campus. This presentation covers the requirements for contractor orientation and management per JLL policy. This contractor safety course orientation will familiarize you with the hazards on site and the important safety programs that everyone must follow. After taking this course, you'll be asked to pass a short quiz and communicate that you have been completed to the JLL contact. Here's an overview from general site rules. First, we'll look at the location and how to get access badges. Please pre-register for your badge with your project manager prior to coming to site. Once you arrive, please drive to the 100 underground parking area. Caution: entryways only have 6 feet of clearance, and you may have to pre-plan for alternate parking. Also, please keep the 5-mile speed limit. Then go to the designated security office to receive your temporary badge. Escorts are required at all times before the badge is issued. The badge must be worn on the front of your shirt at all times, and you will have to badge in all main entrances and interior entry points. At JLL, safety comes first and is taken very seriously. If your company violates any rules, procedures, or policies, they may be removed from site immediately. There is a zero tolerance for working unsafe or intentionally breaking any regulations. PPE. Please ensure you review the type of work you'll be performing before visiting the site and bring all PPE necessary to protect your team. Some examples are eye protection, gloves, hard hats, and safety shoes. OSHA compliance is top priority when it comes to safety, and ensure you follow all lockout tagout procedures and practices. Live electrical work is not authorized on site. Ensure a zero state is present before performing any work that involves energy sources, for example, electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic, chemical, and thermal. Fall protection. Whenever you're performing work above 4 feet, please ensure you're following all proper fall protection requirements. Please ensure you inspect all your PPE and ensure guarding is in place if you are working around any open holes or trenches. Lastly, ensure an emergency plan is in place in case a fall occurs. Refrigerant work. Before any refrigerant work begins, please coordinate with the site refrigerant manager and project manager to ensure all EPA certification cards are collected. After the work is completed, please report all refrigerant leaks, total emissions, and equipment IDs to the refrigerant manager. If a major leak is discovered, please stop work, contact JLL Safety and your JLL project manager. Spill prevention. It is important to report all spills to JLL Safety and to your project manager immediately. All equipment and company vehicles must be inspected, free of any leaks, prior to visiting our site. If you do not know what the chemical is and not qualified to clean it up, stop and notify your JLL project manager. If you need an SDS for the chemical, please notify JLL Safety and your project manager. Note: ensure a spill kit is close by if there is a spill potential for the type of work that you are performing. Site waste. While working on site, please follow all waste stream requirements and proper housekeeping practices. Trash and waste must be separated and disposed of in proper containers. Please do not dispose of any unknown chemicals or oil-containing equipment. Universal and hazardous waste must be taken off-site when you leave. Please contact JLL Safety with any questions. Waste disposal. It's important to notify JLL Project Management and Safety to coordinate all hazardous waste activities, especially what involves broken bulbs, leaking batteries, and ballasts. A pre-job review must be held for handling, transporting, and disposing of this waste. Do not throw away any unknown materials, and always take waste with you once your work is completed. Hot work. If you're performing any hot work that will create a spark, you must notify your JLL project manager and obtain a hot work permit from JLL Safety. This entails open flames, grinding, soldering, welding, and brazing. A qualified fire guard must be present while performing these tasks. JLL will not provide this fire guard. If there are any emergencies or fires, please contact 911 and the site security team along with your project manager. Roof work. Before any roof work begins, please perform a pre-job review to ensure you follow all the required steps. First, obtain a copy of the roof risk assessment if you need it. Note, some rooftops have a reflective coating and will require sunglasses. All roofs do not have approved tie-off points. Also, there are no guardrails preventing a fall from 6 feet of the edge. Next, obtain and submit a roof access permit from the JLL project manager. Then locate the designated safe entrance and incorporate all fall protection measures. First, obtain a proper authorization. Assess those weather conditions. Wear appropriate PPE. Inspect and ensure all safety equipment is in good working order. Check for safe access points, including roof hatches. Review roof risk assessments and understand the layout of the roofs, including any potential hazards. Next, identify fall protection systems are in place, such as guardrails or anchor points if needed. Ensure you have a communication device in case of an emergency. Inform a colleague or a supervisor about these plans to access the roof. Carry all necessary tools and equipment safely. Be aware of any weight limitations and distribute loads appropriately. Finally, review any specific building or company policies regarding our roof access. Hazard communication. While working on the site, it's important to know that your team is trained and understands hazards related to the materials and chemicals that they may be exposed of. Any new chemicals brought on site must be approved by JLL HSE and need to be labeled, handled, and stored properly while in use. SDS sheets are available for review for all chemicals that's currently stored on the Bridgewater campus. Crane work. When conducting a pre-check for crane work, it's important to follow a comprehensive checklist. Here are some key points to consider. Verify that the load charts and operation manuals are present and submitted. Ensure the crane is properly set up on disabled ground and outriggers are fully extended. Check the area for overhead power lines or potential hazards. Verify that all operators and riggers are properly trained and certified. Inspect all lifting gear and rigging equipment. Check the weather and the forecast for potential impacts on crane operations. Ensure proper communication systems are in place between the operator and the ground crew. Verify that the load weight is within crane's capacity. And conduct a test lift if necessary. Incident investigations. All incidents and injuries must be reported immediately. If an emergency occurs, dial 911 and notify the SOC security team. JLL will then follow up with an incident investigation and a root cause analysis as needed. Your responsibilities. Conduct the documented investigations of any environmental events as defined. The investigation must include root cause analysis, identification of appropriate preventative corrective actions, and evaluation of effectiveness of actions taken to prevent incidents in the future. Provide copies of relevant investigation documents, completed investigation forms, including root cause and corrective actions, to JLL EH&S. Routinely review and update the status of these corrective actions and provide any updates to JLL Safety as requested. Fire emergency. Here is a high-level overview of the evacuation process. Once an audible alarm is heard, please evacuate to the nearest exit. Once you evacuate, please join the other occupants at the designated assembly areas. For example, the grassy areas across from the street from building 300 and 400, and await the all clear message from first responders and management before re-entry into any building. Evacuation routes. So before working in any building, please take the time to familiarize yourself with the evacuation maps and the meeting points. It is vital to have a pre-planned response and know the building warning systems in case an emergency occurs. Fire emergencies. It is important to know what to do in the event of evacuation or a fire emergency. If you smell smoke or encounter a fire of any kind, immediately pull the nearest fire station and head to the closest exit. Once you exit safely, please join the other building occupants at designated assembly points and stay clear of those first responders. Please review the assembly points locations with your project manager because each building is different and exterior signs do not exist. Returning to the office. Please use patience and consideration when waiting for the all clear messages from management and first responders to re-enter the buildings after evacuation has occurred. Workplace hazards. It's important to review the possible hazards and risk before work begins. There are several hazards on site that could take place, and we want to make sure you are aware of the most common ones. Slips, trips, and falls, manual lifting, and lacerations are the top 3 most common types. It is our responsibility to share these with you and work together to prevent injuries and incidents from occurring. What's next? JLO employees will sit on this training session and take a simple quiz at the end. They will ensure that all vendors who come to site will take this training and send the link to the videos as needed. For vendors, watch the safety orientation training video and scan the QR code to take the quiz before they come on site. This applies to both badged and visiting vendors. JLL HSSE will take on the responsibility to track and remind anyone who is required to take it within 2 years. Thanks for your participation in the contractor safety training, and we look forward to working with you and your team. This training video must not be copied or edited without express written consent of Jones Lang LaSalle. Thanks for your participation and have a great day.